Aburo buye busheshe. What's up, Rachel? I don't even know why I'm live right now. I was just in my kitchen. I'm wide awake. I'm having a little bit of coffee. Thought I would jump on here and see if the real ones were up. I'm good. I'm good. Just having coffee at, what is it, like 1 o'clock in the morning? I don't even know what time it is. I know it's late. I had some ice cream. I had some coffee. Now I'm just chilling. Just thought I would see if any of my people are around. I went to sleep at 4 p.m. this afternoon, and I slept till 8. So I'm like awake, because when I have a 4-hour nap, it means that I'm going to be awake. What's up, medium rare? Hey, Jackie. How you doing? What are you doing up? Are you working? Or are you just awake? You having a sandwich? Hey, Earth Angel. Hey. What's up, Abby? What are you doing up this late? Editing books? Of course. Oh, it's only 10 on the West Coast. Okay, all right. Just finished. What's up, La Roche? La Jarox. Well, I'm just here. I thought I would just... You did some editing today. La Jaro. Is the X silent? La Jaro. Or La Jarox. Well, it's nice to see you in here. What's up, Krish? Krish. I am up because I napped. And I am awake. I am awake. We are awake. La Asia. La Asia. I'll get it eventually. You slept all day? La Asia, you need to Phonetically spell out your name. Phonetically spell out your name. Like one syllable at a time. Leja. Leja. I'm going to forget that, okay? Hey, Steph. Thank you. I like my beanie. I need to get another one. Leja. Leja rocks. I finally got it. Takes me a minute. So what's the tea, people? I don't know why people say that. I really don't know why people say that. People say that my voice is soothing. Like all the time. And I'm glad. I'm glad that you feel that way. What's up, perps? Well, I have a podcast. Or do you want me to like read bedtime stories? I'm good. I'm over here living my best life. And I'm drama free. Ain't got no bitches. Hey, what's up, Lady Raven? What's up, sweetie? My podcast is about me. I just talk about shit. It's available on Spotify. Do I have anger issues? Nah, I don't have anger issues anymore. I used to. I used to have anger issues. People used to make me mad. They don't anymore. You've never met a man that doesn't have anger issues? You need to find different men to hang out with. No, I used to have bad anger issues. Change your environment, change your life. They're out there, Lydia. You just have to have higher standards for yourself and put down boundaries. Yeah, Aoife changed me. Aoife. Happy O'Shea Aoife, everybody. You're going to be a lesbo? No, Aoife, out of all of the, I guess you could say, out of all of the different, I've studied a lot of religions, but Aoife did have a big impact on me. Big impact. I wouldn't have flown to the other side of the world and gone to Africa to get fully initiated in it if it didn't do something for me. Because you don't just get on a plane and go to the other side of the world to do anything for no reason. Are you in a sheshe? Nigerian traditional? Or are you in Lukumi? Okay. Well, I'm partial to Asheshe, which is why I asked. However, I embrace and support anybody on their Orisha journey, regardless of the tradition that they follow. Because if you're trying to follow Orunmila and Oshun, honor your ancestors, you're all right with me. You are okay. If you want to be able to cast Ifa for yourself with the Opwele, yeah, you need to be in Asheshe. Is that my brother? My brother in the Lord? What's up, bestie? Bestie. What's up, bestie? Agbo Ato Ashori Iwori Wofun Malia. I got your text message. I'm sorry I haven't texted you back yet. Where are you located? Most of the people that practice Shei have to do it long distance because there's not a lot of Philly. You should be able to find people in Philly. I was asleep. Well, you know me. I can be part of your community. There will be a day. There will be a day where I take people over to Africa and get them initiated. There will be that day. It's not going to be any time soon, but there will be a day when I take people over to Africa who want to get initiated. So I slept, and then I woke up really, really late, and there was no toilet paper in my motherfucking house to wipe my butt. So then I was driving to the store, and Sophia called me. And then we talked for I don't know, however many hours. I got off the phone with her about a half an hour ago. And then I was drinking some coffee. And then I was thinking to myself, what should I do? And I said, I'll get on TikTok and see what all those motherfuckers are doing. So I have not responded yet. Because I'm a flake. Because I'm flaky. I am flaky. Sleeping is good. Well, the thing is that I have a lot of people texting me. So I sometimes I turn off all the notifications on my phone, and I don't get notifications unless I open the app. And it's been one of those weeks. So I have my notifications turned off. So I will only find out if I have a text message if I open up iMessage, or I will only find that there's See, there's always something to be done. There's always something that has to be done. If it takes me a couple of days to get around to sending you a message or responding to you, it has nothing to do with me ignoring you or not liking you. It has everything to do with I can't get my fucking act together. I can't get my act together. Agbo Ato Ashuri Iwari Wofun Baba. Happy Oshe Ifa. It's midnight here, so it's just turning into that time of day. Well, it wasn't until I got older that I realized that I have some kind of brain damage. I've got some kind of autism spectrum disorder or something. Ashe. May Ifa bring us blessings. May we avert disaster and bring E-Ray into our lives. Let Eshu open the path and Oshun bless us with all of the good things in life. May Oshun bless all of you and bring you all the good things in life. I haven't forgotten that I have to contact you, Baba. I'm getting around to it. I'm sorry. I'm flaky. That's what we say in America when somebody is like all over the place. Flaky. I'm flaky. I can't help it. I'm super flaky. So, well, I'm really ADHD. Like, I'm all over the place. Like, it's very difficult for me to keep my attention. It's very difficult for me to keep my attention in one place. Ashe. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Enjoy the market and enjoy the ebo. So, my attention span is really short. It's difficult for me to watch a whole movie. I can't sit and watch an entire movie. I can't sit through a 2-hour movie. Halfway through, I'm like, okay, I gotta do something else. Yeah, it's difficult. Really? I don't know what's wrong with me. I mean, it's getting better, I guess, over time. Because I'm trying to get a hold of it. I'm trying to control it. Nothing wrong, just different. Well, I don't know well, the thing is like my eyes are very, very sensitive. I have very sensitive eyes. Light, I can't handle a lot of light. So like if I'm at home during the day, my shades are down and they're kind of drawn because bright light hurts my eyes, like to the point that it's painful. And like if I go someplace, you know, and there's a lot of light and there's a lot of noise and there's a lot of stimulation, it's very difficult for me emotionally. Hey, Yuli. Well, I'm glad you're back. It's not even, but it's not even, what's up, Slaps? It's not even just being around people socially. It's sensory. It is sensory. Like noise. It has to be really super quiet and mellow. I get overloaded very, 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 very fast. And it kind of makes me afraid because I just can't do the things that other people do. Like other people get up with a bunch of friends and they'll go to the club, or they'll get up with a bunch of friends and go to the movies and be in places with like big crowds and stuff like that. I can't. My girlfriend and I went to see John Mayer twice. I've seen John Mayer twice in concert. You know, that was like, I really, really, really wanted to go. Like, I will do something, but I really, 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 really have to want to do it. Like going to Africa. Going to Africa was a wonderful experience. I loved Africa. I would go back. But man, it was a haul. I went to Nigeria, yeah. I went to Oshogbo. I can't deal with fluorescent lights. Medium rare. Nigeria was beautiful. I didn't spend time in Lagos. As soon as we landed, we got in a van and started driving north to Oshogbo. I was right in the middle of it too. Right in the middle of it. I mean, you know, I was going over for initiation and everything, so it was special. You know, I'm sure it's not like that all the time. I had a very, very special experience, but I'm really fucking tired of this country. Really, really, really tired of this fucking place. Thanks, Yuli. Yeah, it was wonderful. It was a beautiful experience. This country's lost its motherfucking mind. But I don't want to talk about it because we're going to stay positive. I mean, the truth of the matter is, I'm at this point in time right now where I'm like, there is no excuse for not fixing the problems that we have here. There's no excuse for it. There's no excuse. No excuse at all for not fixing the problems here. You spent most of the day contemplating the nature of your existence and where to go from here. Well, be right here where you are. You are here where you are. You can't be anywhere else. Whatever your level of spiritual development is right now, that's where you're at. You can't be any farther ahead or any farther behind than where you are right now. You are where you are, and that's okay. Really? How did I get into ATR? Well, I'll tell that story if you guys want me to tell you how I ended up in Africa. I got nothing to do if you want to hear about it. Ashe. So, I mean, I'm Puerto Rican. I was born and raised in a Puerto Rican home. However, I was born in a conservative Christian cult. I was born and raised a Jehovah's Witness. And if you don't know who that is, those are the people that show up at your door on Saturday morning while you're trying to watch cartoons, trying to sell you copies of The Watchtower and Awake, or start Bible or do Bible readings with you. That's how I was raised. My grandmother had converted to that religion when my mom was a little girl, and she forced converted my grandfather, who was very, very Catholic. And my dad came into it when he was a teenager. He joined the church, and so I was born into it. Ex-Mormon, yeah. So, in that religion, there's a lot of really wonderful people in so there's good people and bad people in all religions. There are good people and there are bad people in all religions. Okay, people are caught up in the web. People are born and caught up in the webs of religion. Okay, everybody. Everybody has good and bad ancestors. Everybody has good and bad experiences with religion. I envy people who are born in irreligious households that grow up and can make conscious decisions about how they want to worship God. However, they kicked me out of the religion because I was queer when I was 21. And I decided that I was going to not go back to the church to try to get reinstated once they kicked me out. Cut my membership off, and I left my family. My family cut me off. My friends cut me off. The church cut me off. So I decided that I wanted to learn about religion. So I went to college, Tidewater Community College in Hampton Roads, Virginia, in Norfolk, Virginia, in Norfolk, and started taking classes on comparative religion, biblical analysis, the Gospels, Old Testament. Took a course on Western philosophy 101, Western philosophy 102. Like I started studying the religions of the world. And hold on. I've got my Yoruba music playing in the background really low, but the beat just kicked in. So I started taking yoga classes. I went to a spiritualist church. I went to a Unitarian church. I just started exploring spirituality. I went to a Buddhist temple. I meditated with Buddhist monks. I just wanted to explore the world. And the spirituality that I came to, that I realized was me, was Wicca. I had studied all the religions: Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, Taoism, Confucianism, New Age stuff. I had gotten a Reiki attunement. I was practicing Reiki. Wepa. And I started reading books written by Scott Cunningham, like Earth Power, Earth, Air, Fire, Water, Wicca for the Solitary Practitioner, Living Wicca. And the books of Scott Cunningham convinced me that I was non-Christian and that I was a witch, that's what I was, that the nature-based religion, or religions that were based in nature, were what resonated with me. Because I learned at a very young age that what I believed in and what my father believed in were two very dramatically different views of the world. I went to Sears Roebuck with my grandmother when I was about 7 or 8 years old. And we went to the jewelry counter, and I saw this rose quartz pendant, this rose quartz crystal pendant. The pink quartz. So I asked her to buy it for me, and she did. She even bought me a little sterling silver necklace to put it on. And when I went home, my dad saw it around my neck and said, "Where did you get that?" And I said, "Nan bought it for me." And he was like, "You can't have that. You have to take that off. That's going to allow demons in our house." And I was like, "What?" My phone is dying. Hold on. Yeah, he said that Satan, the devil, and his demons were going to get into the house because my grandmother bought me a rose quartz pink crystal. Christians still say that. Don't play with crystals. They're going to let demons in your house. And that was, I could not comprehend that in my mind. I couldn't comprehend why a pink crystal, a rock, was going to allow in all of this, what he said, these negative things. My grandmother got mad. She got mad. Because when I told my grandmother that I couldn't have it because Dad said demons were going to get to the house, she was so offended. She was a good Christian woman. She got so offended. She let my dad have it. How dare you think for a minute that I would do anything to compromise the safety of your home or my home, or that I would allow, blah, 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 blah. So my dad let me keep it. She said, "God made that rock. There's nothing wrong with that. That is a crystal that, that comes from the earth." The earth. And so it was at that point in time. What's up, T? Oh, get the fuck out of here, Yuli. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's ridiculous. So that was the beginning, when I meditated later on in life and really sat and thought about, like, when did I first come into conflict with the religions, those religions. There's no reason for you to hide anything, medium rare. Aren't you an adult? Do you live at home? There's absolutely no reason for you to hide anything. Not unless you can't get away from your family. Because if you have a husband or you've got a boyfriend or something that doesn't like it, fuck him. Kick him out. Get somebody new. There's absolutely no reason why anybody should be ashamed of what they practice or what they believe, or have to interact with people that don't support them on their spiritual journey. Anybody that doesn't support you on your spiritual journey goes. They don't get to be around you. They don't get to be in your home. They don't get to be They don't get access to you. You understand? Anyway, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. So when I realized that there was something fundamentally different about me, I needed to, I got kicked out. I went to school. I'm not going to tell you how to live. You already know how you have to live. So I started practicing Wicca, and I started learning more about, let's say, occultism. I don't like using the word occultism. I don't like the word occult. I mean, the word occult means hidden. That's true. But nothing I do is hidden because everything I do is associated with nature. I'm a nature lover. I'm a nature worshiper. I believe that God and nature are one and the same. And I believe that we are one with nature and we are one with God. You know, God lives in you in the same way your mother and father live in you, in the same way your ancestors live in you. God is the first ancestor. We were birthed into existence. Everything that is comes into this world through the womb. Everything that comes into this world is birthed into existence. So I see God as the first ancestor, okay, the divine feminine, the womb. So there's a fundamental difference between me and other people because I see God as being feminine. So, that being said, I mean, there's the divine masculine and the divine feminine, the divine everything in between, and the divine non-binary and the divine everything. However, I do see the first ancestor as being the divine womb through which all things are born, okay? So I feel deeply connected to nature and I feel deeply connected to spirit. I do not particularly care for religion. I don't want to go to anyone's church. I don't want to be in anyone's temple. I don't want to be in anyone's elay. I don't want to be in anyone's spiritual house. I don't want to be in any coven. I have my own coven. I have my own temple. My temple is my home. My temple is my body. My body is a temple to the Holy Spirit. Okay? So, I'm very disenfranchised with religion. However, I did get initiated into Ifa, and we're getting there. I'm definitely an animist. I practice animistic magic. I mean, that's what witchcraft is. Witchcraft is animistic magic. It's T, you're funny. Deal with it, bitch. So, I consider myself a witch. It's an identity, and it's something that I practice. And I believe in balance, okay? I believe in maintaining divine balance. And, I mean, I've just read and studied a lot over 20 years I've been studying religion and comparative religion. But why did I come to Ifa? Well, in 2018, I had a huge mental breakdown. Like, it was really, really bad. I was an alcoholic most of my life, and in 2016, I got sober because I almost died twice. I almost drank myself to death twice. And I survived that. And it's my greatest achievement in life, is being able to quit drinking, and I haven't gone back to it. I don't have any desire at all to go back to that life. I ain't about that life anymore. So 2016 I got sober, but 2018 I had a really bad mental breakdown, and it really wasn't even my fault. It was my medication got all fucked up. My bipolar medication got fucked up and I had a psychotic break. Thanks to Lovey. Yeah, Yuli, you have to go on your own journey. Can you guys still hear me and see me? Thank you so much for all the love. Thank you, Miss Daphne. I love you so much. I haven't forgotten about you. I'm just really super flaky. So I drank for a long time. I quit. And then in 2018, I had this really bad, massive breakdown. And when I was in that psychotic state, I started accessing ancestral memory, spirits, entities started coming to me. And I was confused because I was experiencing things I had never experienced before psychically. They call it shaman sickness. They used to call it shaman sickness. When the person finally broke, split, and everything, like the brains hit the wall and everything. But these entities kept coming to me, and something got ignited in me where I had a very strong desire to interact with my ancestors. And what's up, King? So, I started doing ancestor work, bought books on ancestral healing, connecting with your ancestors, calling your ancestors. I'm Puerto Rican, so I wanted to learn more about the island of Puerto Rico. I wanted to learn more about my grandfather's spirituality. I started tracing my lineages. But the spirits that were talking to me were ancestral, and I know today that those entities that were communicating with me, we would call them Orishas. Orisha. Okay. And I was scared. It scared the hell out of me. I was like, oh my God. So I started looking for people that practiced like the traditions, voodoo, Ifa, Palo, Lukumi, 21 divisions. I did at least a year of deep research into learning about all of the different traditions that came off the island of Puerto Rico, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Haiti. I was really, really, really into it. I did a lot of work with my Tainos, okay? The indigenous people, the first people to be colonized in the New World. My ancestors were the people that greeted Christopher Columbus when he showed up in the Caribbean, the Tainos. Those are my ancestors. I'm a descendant of those people, as is any Hispanic person that has a connection to the islands like that. So that was the first group of spirits that I tried to reach out to. And they led me to Haitian voodoo, because the Tainos are in Haitian voodoo, the Taino spirits. So there's a woman named Mambo Maud. She is a Mambo. She is a Haitian voodoo priestess, and she has a huge house called Society Nago. It's located in Boston. There are people on this app that are very popular in the voodoo community that are members of her house. And I had called her up or sent her an email asking if I could come to one of her fetes, which is a party they throw for the Loa, if she would give me a reading. So I wanted to get a reading because I couldn't find anyone else that was able to answer my questions. So I went to her house and did a spiritual consultation with her to just find out what she had to say. And what she said was, you have Loa around you and you need to work with them. All of this stuff is really, really deep, and so it's difficult to try to... I'm trying to keep the conversation as general as possible. as not to go down any kind of rabbit holes with philosophy and stuff. So she told me the loa that were around me, and then she invited me to come to her fete, which was for Dambala. So the first fete I ever went to was for Dambala. And I went to another one of her fetes for Azaka, or Kuzan. However, I didn't... there was something about the people around her. There was something about her house that didn't fit with me. There was something that didn't fit. So I didn't go back, and I thought about getting a lave tete, which is the initiation you do when you enter Haitian voodoo. You get the lave tete, which connects you to your loa and initiates you into the spirituality. I was going to do that with her, but then I said, you know what, I don't really know if this is the right time. So then I also was like, well, I'm not Haitian, you know? I feel a little like maybe I need to go back and try to connect with more Puerto Ricans or more Cubans or more Hispanic people that practice this. So I found someone who was a espiritista and sansista, okay? And I hung out with him, and I talked to him and learned from him for a little while, but he was very disappointing because he said a lot of negative things about me behind my back. He used me as a taxi service because I picked him up and I took him places, and like I offered to help him edit his book and like get his book republished. I mean, I was helping him do things, and the whole time he was saying very negative things about me behind my back. And so one of his best friends sent me a text message and said, hey, I don't know if you know this or not, but Lewis is talking mad shit about you behind your back. And I was like, why? Why would he say things like that when I have done nothing but try to help this person financially, supported them, whatever? So I confronted him with it, and he said it was a lie. So then I sent him the pictures of the screenshots of the things he said about me on WhatsApp, and I said, is this not you? Is this not your number? Is this not your picture? Is this not you saying these things about me? And he didn't respond, and so I just stopped having anything to do with him. But however, by that time I was very deep into Espiritismo and Sanse, okay? Puerto Rican voodoo. I wrote a book about it. You can go buy it on Amazon. Matter of fact, I'm the only person that I know of who has written a book about Sanse. And that book is available on Amazon. So I met another espiritista who also was a Tata and on the path to being crowned. It's called Sanse, S-A-N-S-E. You don't have to ask me the title. I've written 7 books. You can go to my TikTok profile, click on my link tree, and click Buy My Books. It'll take you to my Amazon page, and all of my books will come up for you. Self-published, all of them. So the first initiation I got was I got my lave tete in 21 divisions. So my first initiation was in voodoo, and then I got scratched in Palo Mayombe. So I got scratched in Palo. I received my elekes in Santeria Lukumi. And then I kind of took a step back for a little while because, you know, the communities, the people that practice these religions in the diaspora are difficult. They're difficult. There's a lot of negativity, and there's a lot of colonized mentality, even within people that practice African-based or African-inspired or African-derived practices in this country. They're very, very, very colonized. And I ain't about Jesus, okay? So all the Jesus stuff and the Catholic stuff and the mixing of Christian theology with African spirituality never set well with me. And so I kind of took a step back. I did get my hand in Cuban Ifa. And then my Loa came to me and told me that they wanted me to have my Lave Tet done over again. And you can get more than one Lave Tet. The Lave Tet is a ceremony that once you do it the first time, it initiates you into voodoo, but you can do it again. You can actually do the Lave Tet as many times as you want. So I went and got my Lave Tet redone by my Mambo La Lune, Bouye Ba Mambo. And so I got initiated in Haitian voodoo Asagwe. And then I had promised Oshun that if I got my hand of Ifa, and that if it came out that she was my guardian Orisha, that I would become one of her priests. So it came out that I was a child of Oshun when I got my hand of Ifa. And then I was on a search to try to find someone who would crown me or initiate me, okay? And for some reason, there was something that when I was trying, all the Lukumi people that I was talking to, trying to find out about initiation, everything, something wasn't right. It just wasn't right. I was not feeling like I was welcome in Lukumi, and I didn't feel like Lukumi was my path. So I found this Ianifa, practices Asheshe, and I said, okay, I'm going to go get a reading from this Ianifa because I feel that there's something missing here. So I went to this Ianifa and I got a reading, and I decided that I was going to be part of her Ile for a while. And the Cuban Babalao that I had been working with lost his shit on me. And he was mad. He was mad that I went to an Ianifa to get a reading, and he was mad that I decided to go to Asheshe. He was just mad about it. Because if you're a woman, you can't cast Ifa. If you're in Lukumi, if you're in Santeria or in the Cuban tradition, you can't cast Ifa for yourself, okay? I don't believe that. I think women can cast Ifa for themselves, and they can in Africa because they do in Asheshe. Women can throw the Opwele in Asheshe. So I decided that I was going, because it's more feminine. Asheshe is more connected to the divine feminine. Yes, Babalaos are fathers of the mysteries. They conduct initiations. They handle animal sacrifices, ebos, and all of that. But when a woman gets initiated in Ifa, she becomes an Ianifa. She becomes a mother of the mysteries. And in the Cuban Ifa system, they won't fully initiate women, okay? And they got that because of Catholicism. They got that because of competing with Catholic priests. I cast Ifa for myself, and I read the cowrie shells. And I read my cards and my oracle cards, and I read the I Ching, which is a system of divination that comes from China. And I throw runes and astrology dice, and I'm an astrologer. I'm a diviner. That's what I do. I do everything. I'm a diviner. Because it's divination. It's all divination. Ifa is a system of divination. The Irindilangun is a system of divination. Tarot cards are a system of divination. It's all divination. So why? Is that a problem for you? Or are you like wondering whether or not you should do it for yourself? If anybody wants to get a really, really good tarot deck, the Orisha Tarot is a very, very good deck. It's Lukumi focused, but it's a very, very good deck. I'm in Asheshe. You can go to my TikTok profile and see me getting initiated in Africa. Got initiated a couple of months ago. So anyway, I'm going to keep going with my story. So then I found a Babalao that was willing to take me over. I'm in it, yes, so Isheshe is African Ifa. It's Nigerian Ifa. I tell you what, Miss Daphne, you know what you would really like? There's an oracle deck, and it's called the African Gods Oracle. This is actually better. The African God Oracle is a beautiful, beautiful deck, which is, it's an Orisha deck, and it's very, very good. And then there's the Orisha Tarot. Those are two very good, and they're probably about between $15 to $25. Traditional Ifa. So I went to Africa, and I went through Itefa, and I got fully initiated in Ifa, and I'm an Awo. And I'm an Oshun priest. After I got it fully initiated into Ifa, I got initiated into Oshun. So I'm an Oshun priest. Amazon. They're all on Amazon. Orisha Tarot and African God Oracle is on Amazon. I know how to throw the Opwele. I throw the Opwele for myself. Oshun is my mother in Lukumi, and she's still my mother in Asheshe. Oshun always comes for me, yes. Oshun always comes for me. In every tradition. Oshun is my mother in every tradition I've ever gone to. She's come through. In 21 divisions, in Haitian Voodoo, in Palo Mayombe, in Lukumi, Santeria, in Cuban Ifa, traditional Ifa, Oshun is just everything to me. She always shows up everywhere. So I can't make that up. You can't make it up. It's impossible to make it up. But if you practice any of these traditions, you would know that you can't make this shit up. So come on now. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a very interesting journey. Well, it's difficult for me because I'm so white. I'm not white. I am Hispanic. Yes, I do have African and indigenous ancestors, but 80% of what I have is non-indigenous and not African. I do look Irish because I got a lot of Irish in me. I got a lot of English and Irish and Scottish. And obviously I've got Spain, I've got Portugal, I've got French, I've got West African, I've got Congolese African, I've got indigenous American. I'm just like, I got all kinds of stuff in me. I got all kinds of ancestors from everywhere. So, when I appease my ancestors or the Egungun, I'm appeasing them all collectively. But at the same time, there's only 2 white motherfuckers that I know of that are fully initiated in Ifa. I'm like, where's all the white guys, you know? Like, I wouldn't mind meeting another white guy on the street that is initiated, that went to Africa and got initiated. I would like to talk to that person. Orisha Oko? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Orisha Oko. Mm-hmm. Yep. Orisha Oko's initiation. A pack of assorted crackers. That's funny. Yeah, so I mean, I was talking to Sophia tonight, Mama Sunfire, and I was like, you know what? I mean, one of the big obstacles for me has always been my color. You know, people have attacked me and bullied and harassed me relentlessly because of my color on this app. Because, you know, and it is what it is. I ain't worried about it. I ain't mad about it. Doesn't bother me anymore. But there might not be one. I hope there are somewhere. So that's why I was talking about earlier, like, there's things I would like to do, you know? I would like to have my Oshun temple. I basically have my Oshun temple. I'm going to be doing a Oshun festival in Northampton, Massachusetts in August. I've actually working with the city to put on a festival for Oshun down by the river, down by my house. So I'm going to be doing an Oshun day. And I'm going to be putting that on TikTok soon to invite anybody who wants to come venerate and give offerings to Oshun down by the river, that they're welcome to come. Hey, Bryant. The Nigerians in Oshogbo that initiated me were the most kind, sweet people. They welcomed me. They didn't think twice, you know. They probably knew I was white before I was coming, you know. They probably were told that a white dude was coming. But nobody treated me poorly. I was walking down the street in Oshogbo. I was the only white person that I could see in any direction, anywhere I looked the whole time I was in Africa, and I was just fine. And there were some people that looked at me, or kind of like looked past me. They looked at me or looked past me like, well, look, where'd this white guy come from? But it didn't bother me in any way, shape, or form. I am not with Witchfoot anymore. No, I'm not. That relationship ended over a year ago, so you don't have to ask me any more questions about it. Okay? Because it's none of your business. Mind your business. Yeah, because when you get initiated in Nigeria, you're getting initiated into a Sheshe, the traditional African religion. If you go to Cuba, you're going to get initiated into Lukumi, or pejoratively sometimes called Santeria. So you're getting initiated into a different religion. Sheshe and Lukumi are two completely different religions. They do not teach the same things. They do not believe the same things. There's fundamental differences between the diaspora, Orisha as it developed in the diaspora, opposed to the way it's been practiced for thousands of years in Africa. The religion changed when it came to the New World, but it had to because of colonization and because of the transatlantic slave trade and because of having to protect the tradition and keep it alive. You understand? But it's you know what it's like? I'm going to tell you what it's like. It's like Orthodox Christianity and Catholic Christianity. It's just like that, okay? Orthodox Christians like Greek Orthodox, Ethiopian Orthodox, Russian Orthodox, all the Orthodox Christian churches. That's the oldest form of Christianity. And Catholicism, Catholics, broke off from or were born out of Orthodoxy. And Catholics and Orthodox are two different denominations of Christians, and they do not share the same beliefs. And it's the same thing in Cuba and Nigeria. Nigerian Ifa is Orthodox, okay? And the spirituality that was birthed in Cuba is different. The teachings are different. Similar but different. That's why if you're interested in practicing Orisha and you don't know the difference, you need to study and learn about the differences to determine which one is more appropriate for you. Like I said, in Cuba, they will not fully initiate women in Ifa. They'll give you your hand of Ifa, Ishefa, and that's it. But they will not fully initiate women into Ifa, which I do not agree with. Hence why I'm not in Lukumi. Because everybody deserves to get their destiny, okay? It's your birthright to know what your destiny is. And only Ifa can give you your destiny. There's no other spiritual system I know of that will give you your destiny. So, getting your destiny and going through Itefa is very importante. And you get your destiny when you go through that ceremony and they cast Ifa for you in the grove, in the Ifa grove. So everybody has a right to that, and it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. It doesn't matter if you're gay or you're straight. It doesn't matter if you're non-binary. It doesn't matter what your gender is. It doesn't matter. Your destiny is your destiny, okay? And if it comes out in, if a Babalao throws Ifa for you and it says that you need to get initiated, then you need to get initiated. If you're a woman, you cannot go through Itefa. Only straight men can go through Itefa, which is stupid because I'm pretty sure there's been plenty of gay Babalaos or bisexual ones or down low brothers or closeted ones. It's ridiculous, but women cannot get initiated, fully initiated in Ifa. Only men do. There's Orisha initiation, but it's not the same thing. So how it works in Santeria, Lukumi, or Cuban Ifa is you get your elekes. You know, they'll do a ceremony to clean your head and give you your elekes and formally welcome you into a house, okay, in Ile. Then you'll get your hand of Ifa by a Babalao. You'll get your warriors. You'll get your Orula shrine. And you will be marked in your hand of Ifa for which Orisha you're supposed to be crowned. And anyone can get crowned their guardian Orisha. Anyone can get their hand of Ifa. Anyone can get their guardian Orisha. So then what happens is you get crowned your guardian Orisha, and if you're a man, and if you're heterosexual, and if they do divination for you and it says that you have to go to Ifa, then you will go get initiated as a Babalao or go through Itefa. That's how the process works. The people there were so kind to me. It wasn't a business transaction. I mean, I paid for my ceremony to be performed. I paid to be able to get there, but I was treated like family. Everybody treated me great, but I mean, the people I met were great. Not in any way, shape, or form. But I mean, I paid for a ceremony. It's like paying for a wedding to be performed. You understand? It's a ceremony. You pay for it. So I don't understand what you mean by a business transaction. It was a business transaction. I paid for the ceremony. They performed it. They treated me wonderfully. They made me feel like family. But I didn't feel in any way, shape, or form that I was treated any differently than anybody else. Everybody was very nice to me. Not unless they were nice to my face and then, you know, talking shit about me behind my back. But I don't really think that was true, because the people that I met were very, very kind, you know. Well, yeah, and there's a lot of babalaos in Africa that are all about the money, you know. Show me the money. You know, that's how it is in every religion. Every religion is like that. Well, the thing is like, I know the ancestral reason why I had to go to Africa and why I didn't get initiated in Cuba. I understand why. And I understand my process now. 5, 6 years later, I understand why I had to do what I had to do. No, you do not wear white for a year after you get initiated in Africa. That is not part of the practice. That's a Cuban thing. It's a diaspora thing. Okay, so let me explain to you a sheshe. I just talked about Cuban, but let me explain to you the process in a sheshe. So a sheshe, that's traditional Ifa or Orthodox Ifa, works like this. If you decide that for one thing, anyone can go to a babalao and get Ifa cast for them and find out if abo needs to be done for them, that sacrifice. There's always going to be some kind of abo that's going to come out from an Ifa reading. So you can go to a babalao, you can find out what abo needs to be performed for you to clear your way, and you can pay them to do that, and that's it. If you decide that you want to be a member of the Ifa spirituality or the Ifa religion, then you get your Ishefa, which is your hand of Ifa. When you get your hand of Ifa, you will be given consecrated items that you will use to venerate your Ifa and have a shrine. Of course you can, slaps. Of course you can. So when you get your hand of Ifa, it makes you a student of Arunmila. It makes you a student of Arunmila. You start learning about the Odus. You start learning about the spirituality, you know. You work with your Orisha, you get your Eshu, okay? You work with your Eshu and your Ekin. You have your shrine to venerate. And you're part of, you know, you're in the system. So if it comes out that you need to be fully initiated in Ifa through divination, then you will go to Itefa. Then you will be fully initiated in Ifa. Men and women are fully initiated in Ifa. It's called Itefa, and when you initiate into that, you become an Awo. Men are Awos, and women are Ianifas. By virtue of getting fully initiated into Ifa, you are an Ianifa, if you're a woman. If you're a man, you're an Awo, okay? You're a diviner, but you're not a Babalao. Getting initiated into Ifa doesn't automatically make you a Babalao. There's another initiation that makes you a Babalao, above Itefa. Okay? And Babalaos are high priests. They're the priests of the Ifa religion. So like, as an Awo, I can't initiate you. A Babalao has to initiate you. I'm fully initiated, but I don't have the license to be able to initiate anybody because I am not a Babalao. You understand? However, I am a fully initiated Oshun priest. So I primarily work with Oshun, and when people come to me, I work with them and I work with Oshun energy. You understand? So the thing is like when you go through Itefa and you get your, you get fully initiated, then you find out, you know, well, what do I need to initiate into? Initiate into Oshun, initiate into Shango, Ogun, Egbe, Egungun. You understand? I don't want to go. I'm just giving a general overview. I don't want to talk about I really don't want to talk about like what I'm doing right now in my practice. I'm transitioning through a lot right now. So did Homeland Security question you on the religious content in your luggage? I'm going to tell you the truth of what happened. Hey, what's up, Mystic? So I'll tell you what happened. Hold on, everybody. I have to check something real quick. So let me talk about, I'm sorry, hold on. I got distracted for a second. Let me ask a question about the Homeland Security first, and then I'll answer the other questions. And I'll say something, and also give you an explanation a little bit about like taboos. So here's the interesting thing that happened, okay? The interesting thing that happened to me was we didn't have any problems getting into the country. The Baba that I went with got us through, immigration smoothly. We got out of there smoothly. And when we were coming back, we came back with a lot more baggages to check than when we had showed up. Obviously, we were leaving with stuff. And I put my Oshun, and I put my Eshu, and I put, my Ifa in my luggage, in my suitcase and everything. But I also wore my Oshun Ileke with the, the big one that says Oshun on it, with the phylactery is the only word that's coming to my mind, and it's not a phylactery. My medallion, my Oshun medallion. So when we were going through immigration, it seemed like every single person that I interacted with was an Ifa person. Because they would say to me, "Oh, you went to Ashogbo?" And I said, "Yes, I got initiated in Ifa and Oshun." And they would said, "What's your Ifa name?" And I said, "My name is Ifa Gunwa, Omilana, Ifa Bileke." And as soon as I told them what my Ifa name was, they just moved me right along. They didn't tear through my stuff. They didn't go through my stuff. I didn't have any problems. There was one woman who asked me to open up my suitcase, and she had already asked me, about my Oshun, and I told her that I just got initiated, and she said, "Open up your suitcase," and I opened it up, and she saw the calabash. She kind of saw that the calabash was in there, like wrapped in a t-shirt, and she said, "What is this?" And I said, "That's my Oshun." She said, "Close it." So I closed it up, and she said, "Lock it." She was like, "You're fine. Go through. Don't let anybody else. You're going to go through. Nobody else is going to go through your suitcase." And literally, Oshun like made my transition back to the country like butter. I didn't have any problems at all. So Oshun, so they just, yeah, they just pushed me through. I didn't have any problems at all. I prayed to Oshun before we got to the airport that we wouldn't have any problems. No problems. And it's interesting because, like, taboos. So I didn't get any, I have to say that I wasn't hit with any colors, nor was I hit with anything that was so devastatingly painful that I couldn't deal with it. There's things that I can't obviously eat, but one of the things that I did not get was a color. I can wear any color I want. So, and in Asheshe, they don't do the year in white. That's not a thing. Or you can't look in a mirror, or whatever it is that they do as part of the practice is not. It's not part of Asheshe. But as far as like my taboos are concerned, like, I'm good. I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful. I got a wonderful Odu. My Odus were wonderful, very positive, very encouraging, very reassuring that I was doing the right thing, that I did the right thing, that I went where I was supposed to go. I'm a child of Ashampo. I'm a child of Oshun. So it was like going home. It was like going home. Because I got all the way to Nigeria, and what the Orisha said was, welcome home. That was one of the messages that I got. Welcome home. You made it back. I don't know how many incarnations it took for me to get back, but, you know, pretty much the message was, you know, this is where you started your journey. So I was very blessed. I felt so validated. I felt validated. After all of the bullshit that people have talked about me online, and how I've been bullied and harassed, and how people have come after me and attacked me and called me a fake and a fraud and a colonizer and this horrible person, and why are you here? You know, people were really, really mean to me. But it didn't stop me, because I have faith in God. I have faith in Oludumare. I have faith in Ifa. I have faith in Oshun and the Orishas. I have faith in my Egbe, my spiritual companions. I have faith in my Egungun. I have faith in what I practice. Other people's opinions about me still don't matter after all these years. So I did me. I took care of me. I pursued what I thought was right for me. And I benefited from listening to my gut intuition and kept moving forward. Can I be honest with you? I'm going to say something, and this is the truth. There's absolutely no reason at all, in any way, shape, or form, that anybody should be acting mean, rude, hateful, cursing people, coming after people, practicing magic against one another, talking about people behind their back, having fallouts. Like, that is so common. You see that shit on Witch Talk every single day, or you see it on TikTok every day with these people on TikTok having fallouts, and this person is doing this wrong, and that person's doing this wrong, and you can't do this and you can't do that, and that person's a fake, that person's a fraud. Like, what the hell? What is that all about? Like, why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta be like that? It doesn't have to be like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Iwa Pele. Good character. Demonstrating good character. But I really have to say, after going to Africa and after going to the heart of Oshun veneration in the world, going to Oshun's grove, and getting initiated that my perspective about all of this is very, very different now than how it was 5 years ago, 6 years ago. What do you mean, Julio? Is the Aquarius in you? I used to make videos defending myself when people came around to attack me. Now I just block them. Yes, Miss Daphne, it's true. Unfortunately, it's true. People are very territorial. No, it's not a good look at all. No, because if I was somebody who was interested in joining the tradition and I found it on TikTok and I saw all these Santeros and all these Paleros and all these other people fighting with one another and going back and forth, I'd be like, well, why would I want to join this? What about this is worth being a member of? Because all these people look miserable. All these people look angry. Looks like all these people do is fight. Well, I don't know what you mean by jumping from one tradition to another. I'm initiated in multiple traditions. Most people who practice these practices are initiated into more than one tradition. I don't know why. I don't know anybody that hasn't gotten scratched in Palo and gotten crowned in Orisha, or even had a Lave Tet in 21 divisions or Voodoo. I mean, all these traditions come from the same place. They're West African. They're all connected. They're all connected with one another. There's a connection between them all. Nothing happens in a bubble. Okay? So you can get initiated in all of them if you want. What does that have to do with anybody else? If I decided I wanted to get initiated in every single one of these traditions and I wanted to practice all of them, which is not possible to do, then why would anybody have a problem with that? You just don't like it, you don't like it. So, you know, and there's really two traditions. There's Voodoo and there's Orisha. You know, there's Voodoo and there's Orisha. Because Palo is Congo. Palo is Congo spirituality, and most of Haitian Voodoo is Congo. Palo Mayombe and Haitian Voodoo are sisters to one another, you know? A lot of the practices are similar, and they're very hot traditions. And there's a lot of Congolese influence in Haitian Voodoo and Palo. So they're very, very connected to one another. And then everything in Orisha tradition also comes from the same root. Okay, love you, Miss Daphne. Mwah. Go to sleep. It's way past your bedtime. It's way past your bedtime. Have a great night. La Asia rocks. I don't even know why. It's like 2:30 in the morning. I'm up. Ancestors. My ancestors. Specifically the ancestors that come from Nigeria. And that is complicated. Nothing except differences in the practices, Malia, because it's all Voodoo. Because the Pantheon in Voodoo is the same. Dambala is the same in Haitian Voodoo, Dominican, and 21 divisions is Zili. Dantor, Freda, Papa Legba. So all of the voodoo traditions has a particular pantheon that comes from Benin, Togo, and Ghana. It's about the tradition is based on the voodoo tradition is it's a particular tradition that was born from a specific geographical region in Africa, which is Benin, Togo, and Ghana, which is the center of voodoo in the world. But they're the same. The differences between them are how people are initiated, which ones are older traditions, newer traditions. 21 Division is the oldest form of voodoo because voodoo started in the Dominican Republic. The first African that stepped off the first boat to make it to the New World stepped off in northeast, what is now the Dominican Republic, and the first fraternity, Catholic fraternity for slaves in the New World is in Coti, which is in the northeastern part of the Dominican Republic. And it was within these Catholic fraternities that the Catholic Church sanctioned for slaves to go worship in, where these traditions stayed alive. Okay? The real difference between Haitian voodoo and 21 Divisions is when the island, Hispaniola, was split in two. The French ruled one side and the Spanish ruled the other. The slaves that practiced voodoo got separated by language. So like the French Catholic Church and the French language was, the Haitian side, which is where Creole comes from. It says Creole, Haitian Creole is a mixture of African and French language. And on the other side was the Spaniards, okay, the Spanish church. So 21 divisions, everyone speaks Spanish, sings in Spanish, everything is done in Spanish, and everything is done in Creole in Haiti. So, Julio, I don't... For one thing, I'm not in Lukumi. I did not go through the crowning process in Lukumi. I left Lukumi, so I can't speak for anything Lukumi related. I can't speak for Lukumi related things because I did not go through that initiation. I can't explain it to you. I don't know what you get. But you get crowned your guardian Orisha or your guardian angel in Santeria, Lukumi, when you get initiated. When you get crowned. I don't know, but I don't really know exactly what you mean. Because in Isheshe or in traditional African Orisha, there isn't this concept of a guardian or head Orisha. That doesn't exist. Your head is your Ori. Your Ori, your divine consciousness, the part of you that is connected directly to God, that is your head. Oshun doesn't rule my head. Oshun is my mother. She's my Orisha. But my Ori is my Orisha. That's my head. You understand? So in Isheshe, your Ori is supreme. You, not some Orisha rules your head. You. My Ori is my head. And after you get initiated in Itefa, you get fully initiated in Ifa, you might initiate into different cults. You might initiate into Oshun, but you can also go get initiated in Shango. You can go get initiated in, Yemoja, Yemaya, because those are initiations you can do, and they're all 3-day ceremonies. 3 days. It takes 3 days to get initiated in whatever Orisha you're getting initiated into. So Ifa recognizes that there's one supreme creator, the creator of all things, the womb, okay? The first ancestor, God Almighty, which they call Oludumare, Olorun, the owner of all possible outcomes, the owner of the pot that's never exhausted. That's what Oludumare means, the owner of the pot that's never exhausted. And if you think about our universe, there's a super massive black hole that is at the center of our universe. It's the galactic center. And our sun revolves around that galactic center in the same way that our Earth revolves around the sun. Oludumare is the owner of that. That's what that means. The owner of the pot that's never exhausted. Oludumare is the owner of the universe. The Orunmile, the people of heaven, or the Orishas, the terrestrial and primordial forces that we work with, work under God. Does that make sense? But the thing is, God is so big and so huge and so vast and so incomprehensible that in our practices we work with ancestors, we work with spirit guides, we work with spirits of nature, Orishas. So even though there are many, many different entities, most all African religions believe that there is one supreme creator in general. But what confuses people who are not educated about indigenous traditions is even though there's one supreme creator, we interact with lots of different spirits. Does that make sense? Because different spirits govern over different areas of life. So, yeah, it's pantheonic. It's pantheonic. But, you know, the proper term would be henotheism. Henotheism or henotheistic. Henotheism basically recognizes that there is one supreme creator, but it also recognizes that there is many other gods. Does that make sense? There are many gods and many lords in the spiritual realm. And as human beings, terrestrial beings, we interact primarily with the gods. Or, you know, the people who are sent here to manage this place. So what Ifa teaches is that Oludumare sent the Orunmile to Earth in order to cultivate it, terraform it, create life. No, polytheism is not the same. Polytheism does not believe in one supreme creator. It believes in just lots of gods. So henotheism is the belief in one God and like a supreme God with many other gods acting underneath that God. Polytheism is the view that there are many gods, but it doesn't necessarily purport that there is one supreme creator. So as an example, the Christian God would be a God, but it wouldn't be the God. It wouldn't be the supreme creator that sustains all life in the universe, right? Like the God of the Jews is a God, but not the God. It's one God. It's the God of the Jews, but not like the supreme God. No, there's no hell in my religion. No. We believe in reincarnation. Hinduism is a lot of things. Hinduism is an umbrella term, okay? Hinduism is an umbrella term to describe many, many different beliefs that's indigenous to India and northern India, okay? So there are many different schools of thought in Hinduism, so many. Hinduism is a very, very complex topic, and Orisha tradition and Hinduism are very similar to one another. A lot of the teachings are very, very similar to one another. Like in Ifa, we say you have your Ori, right? That's who you are, your Ori. But in Hinduism, they say it's Atma. Your Atma, your consciousness, is that which survives from lifetime to lifetime, from one experience to another, from one body to the next. And in Hinduism, they believe in a supreme creator that they call Brahman. And there's also many gods and goddesses that are associated with many different things. Just like in Ifa, there's one supreme divinity with many, many other gods and goddesses that rule over things. So Hinduism and Ifa are very similar to one another. Because they're old. Because they're old religions, because they're thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years old, 10,000 years old, 10, 15,000-year-old religions. Those traditions have been practiced for thousands of years, right? Christianity is a New Age religion. It's only been around for like 2,000 years, 1,500 years actually, and it's a Roman religion. You know, the Roman Empire concocted Christianity. So the Roman Empire created this Christian religion. It's a state religion. It's a political organization. Okay? So Christianity actually is government. It's not really spirituality. It's a government. Christianity is a government that has spiritual requirements for membership or citizenship. Well, Christianity was constructed by pagans, by Roman pagans, that pulled from the Greek and the Roman mysteries and from Jewish stuff. And, you know, Christianity wasn't concocted until really 300 years after Jesus supposedly lived. Like, Christianity didn't become Christianity really for hundreds of years after this person supposedly lived and died. So what you think you know about Christianity, you don't know. Matter of fact, we'll never know. That's why I don't fuck with it. I have no interest in fucking with any Abrahamic religions at all, because they're not interesting to me. And if you read the Old Testament, okay, and you read the Hebrew Bible, you'll see that the Hebrews were influenced by every culture that they came into contact with. They are influenced by Babylon, by Egypt, by other Canaanite religions. So everything in the Bible is just... the entire Bible actually wasn't put together until, like, I don't know, 300. So I deconstructed and decolonized myself from that like 20 years ago. That's why I couldn't really buy into the Lukumi thing, because, see, the Lukumi Santeria religion is highly influenced by French spiritualism or French spiritism. There's a man named Allan Kardec. He was a French guy. He was a Catholic, and he left the Catholic Church and he started writing books about spiritism. He wrote a book called The Doctrine According to Spiritism. And his books became very popular in France, in Spain, in Portugal, and translations of his text in French, Spanish, and Portuguese came down into the Caribbean, came down into Brazil. And so the Allan Kardec, his name is Allan Kardec, it's French, but people say Allan Kardec because they don't know how to pronounce his name properly. Those books and those teachings about Spiritism highly influenced the diaspora. So you can't become a Lukumi practitioner or an Orisha practitioner in Cuba or in the New World without having to use that French Spiritism. And it ain't African. Doesn't exist anywhere in Africa. You understand? So I'm not into Allan Kardec. I'm not into his brand of Christianity because it's a Christian religion. Spiritism, according to Allan Kardec, is Christian. It's a Christian denomination. And that is completely infused with Orisha in the diaspora. Completely infused. To the point where they can't exist without one another. That's why I'm not in Lukumi. Because I'm not into it. I wasn't interested in it. I asked a Lukumi practitioner, I asked a priestess if I could get initiated without doing all the Spiritism stuff. Nobody will crown you in Orisha if you don't go through these seances, if you don't go through these misas. And I was not interested in doing so. Rhonda, I was going to text you. I am going to text you because I haven't forgotten about you. Okay. It's just been, a lot of stuff is going on in the past 2 weeks. A lot of stuff has gone on in the past 2.5 weeks. So I have to talk to you. I will text you tomorrow. Tomorrow is my day to go visit my friend in Manchester, New Hampshire. So I can't talk to you tomorrow, but I can talk to you Monday. And I'll text you tomorrow. And you know that I'm here to help you. 100%. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. Of course I will. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Well, thank you, April. Here I am. Although I'm going to be getting offline soon, like in the next couple of minutes, I'm going to be saying goodnight because it is late. Now I'm starting to get tired. But if you guys are not following my Brujo Ryan profile, go over and follow my primary profile, which is Brujo Ryan, BRUJORYAN. Or go to my link tree, click on my links, go buy my books, buy a birth chart. Thank you so much, Malia. I really appreciate that. Father's Day is like the worst day of the year for me. I hate Father's Day. I hate Father's Day. I make sure to stay offline on Father's Day because I just don't want to see all of the Father's Day stuff on there. Any natural painkiller? Yeah. I mean, there's cannabis. You know? Camphor, you know, there's, whatchamacallit, Tiger Balm. Get some Tiger Balm. All right, y'all. I love you guys to death, but I'm going to go now. Okay. Talk to you later, guys. Good night.